What's up, idiots? Welcome. Round 2 of the playoffs, semifinals time, coming to you here at Kids Unlimited. Sean and I were on bye, so there were only 4 matchups to recap from last week. Then there's the full slate, 5 games this week, with everyone playing either in pointless games like the 5-8 game or the 5th seed game or 8th seed game. No one really cares about those, but I'll go over them anyways. And then I'm going to pick the one word or phrase, short phrase, 2 words at most, I think, that sum up your team, that define your team for the year, okay? So let's recap last week's games. In the trash bracket, JD surged to a yearly high of 215 points as he took down Adam, who scored 181. Both of them outscored the other trash bracket game. So Adam begrudgingly goes into the final round of the trash bracket. JD once again had a huge performance from his MVP, Lamar Jackson, with 49 points. Adam played just about his best possible lineups, other than 7 points he could have gotten by playing Chikakonkwo over either Brock Bowers or Kyle Pitts, who both got a little over 6. Adam slides further into the dumpster. In the other trash bracket matchup, Daryl beat Mark 167 to 145, much to Adam's chagrin, since he would have beaten both of them. Daryl got 28 points from Tajay Spears, while Mark sat 28 points from Cooper Rush for 5.7 points from Geno Smith. The 22.3 point difference would have given Mark the win, and he would have been done. Not done. There's the 8th place game that no one cares about. In the actual playoffs, Phil beat Lucas easily, 241 to 176. Lucas's reign as champ officially doesn't officially come to a close, I guess, but he can't repeat. It doesn't come to a close until someone else wins it. He's still defending champ right now. Phil got 51 points from Jared Goff in the game, while Lucas really didn't have other options to turn to on his bench. Phil goes on to face Sean in the semifinals this week. Burt got a hard-fought win against Steve, 201 to 193, really thanks to Josh Allen. Before Josh Allen's 48-point performance, it looked like Steve could pull this upset off. Steve sat Mac Jones in his 25 points for Tua, who only got 10. That's a difference that cost him the game here. Even if Steve had played CJ Stroud, who only got 19 points instead of Tua, he would have gotten the win here. So there was meat left on the bone for Steve, and it's a bummer that his season's over now, except for the 5th seed game. People are coming in. I'm going to have to stop. They're coming in with all their art stuff. Whoa, okay. All right, back to my house for the rest of this, apparently. And I'm holding the camera. We'll see how that goes. I've never done this before. I don't want the shaky cam, but yeah. All right, let's see. I think we're on to the other trash bracket matchup, maybe. Daryl beat Mark 167 to 145. I think I said that part. Mark could have gotten the win with Cooper Rush. In the playoffs, Phil beat Lucas easily, 241. I think I did this, 241 to 176. Lucas's reign as champ comes to a close with the loss. I mean, technically it's not over yet again until someone else wins it, but his opportunity to defend his championship comes to a close. Phil goes on to face Sean. I did all this shit. Burt got a hard-fought win against Steve, 201 to 193. Burt relied on Josh Allen again, and he came through with 4 touchdowns in a 48-point performance. Steve sat Mac Jones in his 20. Yeah, I said all this. Yeah, Steve could have won. On to the matchups. We'll start with the least meaningful games. I feel like I don't know what I did. We're going to start, though, with this just in case. The least meaningful games, the 8th place game, the 5th place game. No one really cares if you finish in 8th place or 5th place in this. It really doesn't matter. But we'll get into those anyways, and I'll pick those words for your team. So 8th place game is D's Nuts versus the Meat Packers. It's JD versus Daryl, an old Schwing rivalry from back in the Doha days. Current projections, 163 to 152. The bottom 2 teams escaped from the dumpster first. So JD beat Adam. The number 10 seed got out. Number 8 seed Daryl beat number 7 Mark, so they got out. He got out. Or number 7 Adam. No, Number 8 seed beat number 9. Number 9 seed beat number 8 seed. Something. Daryl was lower. They're in the 9-10 seed. I'm all flabbergasted from my teleportation here again. So JD was the 10th. Daryl was the 9th. That's it. Daryl beat Mark, who is the 8th, whatever. On the season, JD actually averages more points. I think I've said this recently in other videos. 157 to Daryl's 153. JD's been rolling behind Lamar, and I expect that to continue here. He's been so good that I don't think it matters that he's facing the Pittsburgh defense. Daryl has Lamar Jr. to lean on with Jaden Daniels, who has been just amazing. He's going up against the Philly defense, though, so they both have tough matchups against Pennsylvania teams. My guess here is that Daryl would rather have the Eagles shut down Jaden and lose this matchup than have Jaden run all over his Eagles. So we'll give that to him in our projection. We'll say JD wins this, Jaden's controlled, the Eagles win. Everyone's kind of happy-ish here. Okay, your words. JD, your word is honorable mention. Okay, your words. Yes, you got last place, but there were games where you absolutely blew up the scoreboard. Okay, including last week. Lamar would be a candidate for Schwing MVP if it wasn't for what Josh Allen has been doing. Yeah, that's it. So your honorable mention, dude. I think it was better. Even the trade, Chuba Hubbard maybe didn't play great last week, but it's a better trade than I think a lot of us expected it to be. I still wonder if you meant to take my second round pick rather than giving me a second. Maybe that was a mistake that was made. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, Daryl, your word is depleted. I almost went with outlier because your point total is not indicative of the amount of success you had with wins this year. But depleted is the right word. Okay, you have a great piece to build around with Jaden Daniels, but that is the only player that I would absolutely guarantee into the future. Okay, there's a lot of Ramondres and Josh Downs and just pieces I can't guarantee moving forward. This is a roster that needs to be rebuilt. So your word is depleted. Okay, in the 5th place game, switching arms here. Another kind of meaningless game. 5th, who cares if you end up 5th or 6th in this? 5th place game, Baylor Broncos versus ETN Everything Hurts. That's Steve and Lucas coming off their first round losses. The current projection is 196 to 147 favoring Steve. Steve can only look with sadness at having the second highest point projection in this round. And really, now that Kamara is going to be out for me, he might have the highest point projection if he had gone on, if he had beaten Burt last week. And then with David Montgomery out and Will Levis being benched, there's pretty much no chance that Lucas can win this game, I don't think. So Steve's going to win. Steve will be 5th place. Lucas will be 6th. Okay. Lucas, your words. People's champ. Mark tabbed you as this. The reign isn't officially over until someone else wins it, but we will all remember the run of the People's champ. Way to go, Lucas. It was a championship to remember last year for sure. I didn't make words for Steve apparently. So we'll go with let's see. There's a few words that pop into mind for me with Steve. There's disappointing because I think you could have gone further. There's surprising, revitalized. I think that would be the word, revitalized. I think your team was revitalized this year. I didn't think it would be as good as it was, and very good by the end. Derrick Henry still playing very, very well. Helped that a lot. So revitalized, Steve. That's what your word is. All right, trash bracket, the bottom of the dumpster. The last game of the dumpster bracket, the loser gets a punishment. That's Bed Bath & Beyond against the Oregon Beer Force, Adam versus Mark. The current projection is 160 to 158, favoring Adam, who will have to change their name for the year other than Bert, who still has to change his. The average on the year favors Adam 166 to 161. Ken Walker missed practice again Wednesday. I haven't checked for Thursday. Thursday practice will be a major indicator of his availability. And if he doesn't play, it's possible that Adam will use a Seahawk to take down Mark because he has Zach Charbonnet. It's crazy. I think the matchup depends on the availability of those and usage of those two players. And I will go with Charbonnet being necessary and getting Adam the win. Okay, words for friends. Mark, leisure enthusiast. I was searching in AI, ChatGPT, for the right word for a person who keeps the perspective that this is all for fun and puts that before anything else. And several words popped up, and I asked for maybe more creative or unique ones for that. And it came up with leisure enthusiast, and I thought that was perfect. This is a puppy. I got the Kids Unlimited and Kids Unlimited here. These were our Christmas bonuses right here. I'm wearing the Christmas bonus. Holy crap, I'm bad at holding this. So Mark Leisure Enthusiast popped up, and I just thought that sounded right and went for it. Okay, this is not here to be serious. We do take it pretty seriously, some of us, but you are the guiding light for being a leisure enthusiast with keeping the perspective of why we do this, especially without money on the line. Adam, the word you get is The Verge, okay? Which is funny because you're playing Mark Virgin, who went by The Verge, but this is like the verge of something. It seemed like pieces were there to make a run, but it all fell off a bit. The window seemed to be opening for a run. A few players had worse seasons than expected. Tank Dell, number one on that list. Even CeeDee Lamb, somewhat disappointing season, despite being like wide receiver 5 or 6 or something. And there's definitely still need for a starting second QB in the Superflex League. So you need yourself a second quarterback, but you are on the verge of competing, I feel like. Beard's getting longer. It is, yeah. Okay, so The Verge, that's what you get. On to the playoff side of things. Go with my matchup with Bert first. Number 1, Purdy Balls versus number 4, Mingo Ate My Baby. The current projection is 197 to 192, which is going to change very soon because Alvin Kamara is likely done for the season. So I am just getting destroyed right now. Not going to lie, it's a bitter pill to swallow having Jordan Mason good all year. Excited to get CMC back. He gets hurt. Jordan Mason goes down as well. Kamara's hurt. Probably done for the year. At least I have Kendra Miller as backup. Saquon's been a little dinged up. It's just not fun. That's like the worst part of this, to put together a good team and then injuries all over the place. Wide receiver, quarterback, running back, you name it. So it kind of sucks. But the other side of this is that Bert has some players that I'm really scared to face. Josh Allen, and namely Jahmyr Gibbs. Well, Josh Allen for sure. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, now that he's kind of the workhorse in Detroit with Monty banged up and out of the game. I'm not feeling great about this right now. Okay, so I feel like Michael Penix might help Drake London, who Bert has, more than it'll help Darnell Mooney, who I have. Just not feeling it. This is not even just a, hey, Bert's going to win. Like, I think this is going to be hard for me moving forward. Obviously, it helps. I need Herbert to do something on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to need that. But, yeah, I'm not sure that's going to happen against the Denver defense. Bert's going to end my very, very strong season. Really dominant through most of the season. It's going to end tragically soon, though. Injuries and Bert's team having a good week. So I think that's what's going to happen here. Bert, your word is Titan because of Josh Allen. Okay, not the rest of your team necessarily. But Josh Allen has been an absolute Titan, has carried Bert through many games. He's been a one-man wrecking crew at times. He helped Bert make the playoffs and then win his first round game. Bert would not be in this game if it wasn't for Josh Allen. I know that's like we can say that, but there was no one else he was putting in that was getting close to what he had. Josh Allen is the MVP so far. He's likely going to do it again this weekend. So Titans, what Bert gets. Me, complete. Okay. I might not complete the season, but my team has been complete. It's been a balanced attack that carried me forward. I didn't have a single consistent MVP. Many guys were capable of being the MVP throughout the season. Unfortunately, now my team is much less complete than it was, and it's showing. So complete is kind of like where I was and now what I might not be. So, all right, on to the game of the week. Number 2, Portland Ducks versus number 3. I'm here for the trophy. The current projection is 192 to 191 favoring Phil. This is a matchup that seemed inevitable for most of the season as it became clear that Sean would win the Boob Guys and Phil would have trouble catching me in the Butt Guys division. Injuries have been more of a problem for Sean than for Phil. And there's questions about will he continue to play Bryce Young at Superflex or will he opt for the upside of Will Richardson this game? Maybe he thinks he needs to outscore Phil, so he needs to kind of swing for the fences. Or will he put in Michael Penix in his game against the Giants? Michael Penix. That will be an interesting decision and one that leads to either glory or the ultimate regret for Sean, whatever he decides to do there. Phil looks to be playing Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff, Prince Goffrey, over his boy Sam Darnold. It's another one to keep an eye on. Goff was great last week, and now he's got to go outdoors, so we'll see how that works for him. The season average favors Phil 197 to 190. In this one, And I think in this one, I'm going to have to take the percentages and pick Phil. But it's a great matchup, and it's one that's tough to predict. All right, on to your words. Phil, destined with a question mark, okay? Phil has called this run with his name change, laying all his chips on the table. Destined with a question mark is what comes to mind. Can he call his shot and deliver? He has the chance laid out right in front of him. So that's the word. Is it destiny, or is he destined to come up short? We'll see. Stressed is the word for Sean. Stressed with a question mark, though, okay? It's been a weird season for Sean. He's never been at much of a risk for not losing the Boob Guys division, and yet there have been a ton of injury questions. There's been QB questions, underperforming QB questions with underperforming for questions with Jonathan Taylor, DJ Moore, Mark Andrews at different times. So there's a sense of uncertainty, this team, that doesn't track with his record. So what will the results be? It's time to find out, guys. That's what we're doing here. Semifinal, it's time to find out who's going forward. And Sean gets stressed with a question mark because maybe he's stressed because it's been a weird season for him despite kind of coasting most of the time. So, all right, that's it. Good luck to everyone except for Bert. Have a great weekend, guys. Love y'all. Peace out.